There guys, welcome back to the channel for yet another product review. This time we are looking at Bushido. Now, when I saw this a few months back, I decided to reach out to GCT Studios to see if they would be interested in sponsoring a few videos by sending me one of their products. And they said yes, they would love to, and have sent me out this 2-player starter set. So let's have a look at it. So Bushido, in the Isles of Dwar, I think that's how you pronounce it, the hatred between two long feuding families erupts into unbridled violence, threatening to destroy them all. Secretly in love, the heirs of these two warring houses are pitted against one another. Are they doomed to die in a wave of chaos and bloodshed, or will they survive and bring peace to these two houses? Their destiny lies in your hands. Bushido is a game of savage battles and last-ditch defences where debts of honour are paid in blood. The world's fate hangs not on armies, but on individuals attuned to the all-permeating life force known as Ki. The delicate tapestry of Ki is threatened by the forces of imbalance, and it is up to you to protect it or help rip it apart. Create your own story with 10 characters, each with their own narrative enhancements representing character progression and growth. Are you ready for the challenge of the Way of the Warrior? So in this box we get 10 finely detailed resin models, 31 cards, tokens set, and the rulebook. So we can see on the back here, these are the 10 minis we've got. But Bushido, it is a 2-player skirmish game. For those of you not familiar with skirmish games, though if you're following this channel you probably are, but skirmish games are typically when your army consists of between 5 and 20 models. Most skirmish games don't have above 20 models, but yeah, you get basically skirmish or what I call battlefield, which are this like Warhammer 40k, things like that. So yeah, this is the game. Now when this turned up, I was expecting your typical, large box, with the minis and whatever inside. Something similar to what Games Workshop and Corvus Belli's Infinity and things like that do. But no, it's come in this really nice A5 size box. It is small. Oh, there's more left in here. Oh, the minis. Can't forget the minis. But yeah, it's really nice packaged. I love the artwork for this. And yeah, I think these may be 3D rendering of the minis, not actual prints themselves, though I could be wrong. But yeah, it came in this small box and I thought it was great. It's perfect for, storing on a shelf in your collection. Obviously once the minis are assembled, they're not going to fit in this box, but everything about this is well packaged. It had this little bit of bubble wrap stuffed in the end to make sure that anything can't move around, because obviously you've got this here. I mean, it's only cards and the bases that would move around, but we have a pack of 10 bases here, the cards, the box with the minis in, we'll have a look at that in a minute, the rule book, and this is brilliant, a nice little A5 rule book, so you're not having to lug anything heavy around. I have had a quick little flick through this. I'm not, I haven't really read the rules or anything, but it does look like a really fun little game. You've got a wound table here, very much reminds me of the old Warhammer wound tables and stuff. It's based on 2d6s, and then whatever you get, the success level, depending on what you roll on a d6, I'm assuming, will determine your success level. So these here are all, it's a reference area, so nice and easy. At the back of the book you can make some quick references. But we'll start at the front and take a look. Oh, actually, before we get into that one, so we've got on here how to play basic rules, how to play key feats, how to play ranged attack, how to play movement, and how to play melee exchange, all on their website. They've got YouTube videos, they've got learn the rules here, so if you guys want to learn the rules, obviously they show them all on their YouTube page there, so go check them out. And there is a little scan me there. So in here we've got 3 sheets of tokens, and as far as I can tell these are identical, almost identical. I've just noticed the tokens along the top of each one are different. Then we've got reload, ammo, that one's ammo. So yeah, they're almost identical with a few different ones, and they are double-sided, so we get a whole bunch of other stuff on the back. Card wise, it's 2mm cardstock, so not the sturdiest. And I will mention they did send me this, but I am going to give an honest review, my honest opinion on it. Personally, I prefer thicker cardstock for things like tokens. They get used a lot, and they're needed. So ideally, you want something that is going to hold up over time. So yeah, I think the 3mm cardstock, I think it is, the Corvus Belly do, or 5mm, I think would work better than this. But obviously that would increase packaging size, so I can see why they went for the 2mm, I believe it's 2mm cardstock. Not too bad, but yeah, that's pretty much the only poor thing I can say about it so far, is the card's thin. Never mind. So we'll take a quick look at the rules, and then we'll look at the minis. I'm not going to go through all the rules, we'll just have a look at the rule book. So we've got a whole thing here of getting ready, tells you what each player will need, measuring tape or measuring widget, at least 10 D6, so 6-sided dice, in 2 different colours, 5 in one colour and 5 in another, fair enough. Several coins, chips or dice to track a model's key tokens. I'm assuming that's what these are anyway, or you could use them as that, but yeah, you could track them otherwise. To protect your cards, use plastic card sleeves and dry wipe marker pens. So you mark on the cards, that's interesting. An area to play on, at least 2 foot by 2 foot. Usually you'll need a bit more space than this to accommodate dice, so the battle area, I'm assuming, is 2 foot by 2 foot, nice and small. And several bits of terrain. No single piece should be larger than 9 inch by 9 inch, otherwise you're going to lose half your table any bigger than that. And then optionally, special attack / defense cards for reference, and a Bushido token set to help track in-game states and effects. So this is the token set. Now the fact that they mention it like that, I'm wondering if the rules are available online, and because I know that you can buy the individual sets, so it might be that you wanted to buy a different army than the 2, or a different faction than the 2 that come in here, and obviously you would need the rules. But yeah, it's fairly simple to play. I mean, it's a thick rule book for its size. Obviously, if you scale this up to Games Workshop size, this is thin as hell. We've got a little bit at the back there for thingy. So terms and concepts, so we just got a reference for all the different terms and stuff that they're used in the game, like line of sight, measuring distances, the owner, place and replace. That's the first few pages. Beautiful artwork in this. That is some amazing artwork. Oh, and just in case, because I didn't mention it, Bushido, obviously it is Japanese themed. It is based on, I believe, Japanese myth. So you've got like Ronin, samurai, but you've also got some of the like Oni and demons and things like that as playable miniatures, which is why I love the look of it. I'm a huge ancient Japan and Japanese folklore and lore fan, so yeah. Right, cards. So we've got a little bit obviously on the cards, what each thing means and what it does. Look at this fox, that's pretty cool. Special cards, terrain cards, theme list cards, and then we get into the rules, your warband composition. So like I said, it is a skirmish game, so you play with warbands you know, a small number of miniatures. You get a rice limit, determines the size of the game and can be arbitrarily chosen. While you can play games with any amount of rice, you will find the following standard formats. So 70 rice, introductory level suggested for quick games, and 100 rice, standard game format and suggested level for events. And then you get your models and stuff. So we got game setup and turn, movement and placing. So you, like most games, oh, it's a little bit different actually. It looks like they're saying you measure from the back of the base to the back of the base instead of the front of the base to the back of the base, which most other games go. Can move around the board in a number of ways depending on the action model, on the action chosen when the model activates or the effects applied to those models. Some models are naturally faster than others. Moves up to the given distance, but yeah, it looks like you measure from the back to the back instead of the front to the back, which is unusual because you're technically losing an inch of movement for, you know, accounting for the base. But never mind, just something you have to bear in mind if you're used to playing other games where you measure from the front. This one seems to measure from the back. So we've got some tests that you need to take at certain points in the game, challenge tests, fear tests and things like that. We've got a little bit on ranged attacks, melee, the wound table, and then some special abilities. So yeah, I mean, the rules, looking at them, seem pretty straightforward. You move, you attack, you resolve the attack and do some special abilities. Obviously all that will be explained on what you can do per turn. So you've got key feats. Each model may perform the key feats on its profile card. Key feats are categorized in a number of ways. These explain any restrictions on a key feat's use, the timing of its use, its type and cost in key tokens to use. So you've got all the different references here of, you know, whether you need to be in base to base, movement, if you can do it once per turn or once per game. So these are more like character special abilities, and obviously they're going to be limited. I mean, look at that great big like an Oni demon there, which is pretty cool. Then we got traits. Obviously they're given examples, but yeah, this seems like a really well put together rulebook. Bit on terrain, scenario rules. I'd say the layout of the rulebook is very inspired by games such as Warhammer 40k, mainly the older editions and mainly the smaller rules books that you get in the starter sets, not so much the big A4 thing. You know, they've laid it out in very much a similar way, but it does sort of make sense that you would lay it out in the order that you would be able to do things. But yeah, so we've got scenario rules, so if you want to play certain scenarios rather than just a quick little skirmish. Game length. Is that KE? The remaining leagues have been nothing but a blanket of emerald. Oh right, so these are different scenarios. Scenario rules, so that's on how to set up the scenario rules. I got ya. So these are the scenarios here. So we've got 1, 2, 3 different scenarios that you can play. So we've got a scenario objective, a zone control, and another objective. Some more nice little artwork, and then that leads us to a little bit of lore about each of the clans or factions that you can play as, and they do a fantastic range of models for each clan. This is something that I will definitely be buying some in the future, even if I don't play, just to paint up, because I'll show you in a minute, the miniatures on these are amazing. So yeah, all these different clans. Then you've got Ronin and Kage Kazezoku. That's definitely a ninja clan. The Shiho clan. And then we got the Imperial Court. Now they don't show models for that, so I'm not quite sure what that is, but I'm sure I'll find out as I look more into the lore of this. But yeah, nice little book for the rules. We'll go through the cards, and yes, I am deliberately keeping you guys waiting for those miniatures. But we will get to them, don't worry. So, cards. You've got 3 here without anything written on the back. One with something, a double-sided card, another double-sided card, and these are the backs, and then more double-sided cards. So let's have a look at what these actually are. So we've got an enhancement card here, accepted into the shadow. We've got banished, which is an event card, and beloved nobles, another event card. Beneath notice, an event card, yeah, enhancement, and event. Then we've got the character cards, or the cards for each miniature, and inducted into the Miko. So I'm assuming the way they've put this is we've got 2 samurai and a shugenja. This one is named, so I'm assuming that's a character, or that's what they can be part of. Again, I will look into the rules. And we've got a samurai, Shisai, an unknown worm, okay, another samurai, and some more enhancement cards. An animal, yokai, that's a ryokin, that's the cool fire wolf looking thing, or fire fox, sorry. Taiyo, that's a peasant villager, and some more enhancements, but these ones are, there's a theme, equipment. So yeah, some nice little cards, and like they said, might be worth getting some sleeves for this and some dry erase markers, I'm assuming, in case you need to write anything in these. Again, I will look into that myself. And finally, because I know you guys have been waiting for this, let's take a look at the minis. And again, with the packaging, got some styrofoam S shapes here, just to again make sure that everything is nice and doesn't rattle around in shipping. And then there's the back end of it. So yeah, they take great care with these minis. Now I will be doing painting videos on these guys, so if you want to see how I paint all of these up, do hit that subscribe button, and if you're enjoying this video and want to see more content, let me know by hitting that like button. The more likes I get, the more I know you guys are enjoying the content, and the more it shows up on YouTube. So here we've got Taiyo, and what I'm going to do, if we can, because I haven't got a great light here, let's see if we can put the camera light on. Oh, there we go. Does that help? Not really. Get it to focus. There we go. So yeah, if we can get it. So there you go. The details on these is brilliant. Obviously, there's a little bit of, you've got fine sort of resin, but you can easily brush that off. They are cast resin, not 3D printed resin or anything. It comes with a little backpack there. Doesn't look like there's much to remove, and there doesn't appear to be almost any mold lines on this, which is really good, especially for resin. If any of you have ever worked with Games Workshop's resin, or I should say Games Workshop's resin, you will know that sometimes they have little holes and stuff. But yeah, get that back in camera. The detail on these, now these are 28mm, I believe, which is from base or feet to eye level is how the scale is worked. So they are very small compared to Games Workshop's miniatures. I know I'm mentioning Games Workshop a lot, but that's because you guys know that I've collected their stuff for years, so I always tend to sort of compare things to them. But these minis, the detail on these is brilliant, especially for the scale. So yeah, that's Tayo. Then we have Maha 2. Oh right, so there you go, that's part of her. So again, look at the detail in these faces. I believe this sort of goes on her hands, is it? Yep, that's her hands. So she's actually got this magic type stuff swirling around her. That looks really cool. I'm gonna love painting these. You've got all these sort of faces in there. And get that out of the way so we can have a look at her. Look at the detail on that. It's crisp and sharp. Brilliant. So that's Maha. And then the third one in this is Daihanji. And I think he's a samurai, and you've got his two swords there. And again, look at the detail on that. I think the faces are going to be the most troublesome part. They are always troublesome anyway at the larger scales, 28mm. Oh, that's going to be fun. Kind of need some fine brushes for that. And again, with the bases, obviously we clip this part off and this little tab in between, but this one with the Japanese written on it is the tab that slots into the bases. They are slotted bases. So that's one. Then we've got a second pack of 3. So in here we have Haiboku. So yeah, you can see here we've got this sort of, they're not so much mold lines, it's more flashing, but it is very fine stuff. I think the back of a knife, you know, a hobby knife, should scrape that off fairly easy. I mean, the stuff on the head and that comes off just by brushing it. Now you'll see it is a slightly flexible resin, which is also good, not so likely to break it. I wouldn't go forcing it, but you know, you drop this, it's not going to break too easy, which is great. Yeah, these are amazing miniatures. I will put these on the same level of detail and quality as Corvus Belli's minis. And if you guys have seen my videos, you'll know that I also love Corvus Belli's minis. The detail and the quality of them is brilliant. But for the fact that these guys are printing them, I do believe it's resin. I think they said resin, didn't they, on the back of the box? Yep, finely detailed resin models. So for the fact that these are resin, and you know, I'm assuming they are injection molded, there's no air bubbles, you know, no spots. I think it's brilliant. Like I say, you've got these little bits of flashing in the hands, but that should have scrape out fairly easy. Look at that. Gonna be so enjoyable to paint these. And yeah, I like that it's flexible resin. You're not gonna break anything too easily. So that there is Kenmina or Kenmina. Then we've got, ooh, this one is the Fox. Now there is a name for the Fox, Ryokeen. So again, he's 2-part, so obviously he'll go together, sort of like so. But yeah, we can't really show him as one whole piece. But there's the face. Yeah, again, you can see it's got this very fine flashing along here, but you can see how easy it is to move. I think that's going to be really easy to remove that, which is brilliant. And then we have Koga, which I think is another samurai with a longbow. Let's see if we can get, it's hard to get it in focus and show all that beautiful detail up, especially on the face. It's a little bit hard to get with the light and stuff, but yeah, look at that. And then finally for the last, I think there's 2 in here as well. So apologies as well for this video if you've heard a fan going in the background. I do have a 3D printer running for some paint racks at the minute. But yeah, apologies for that. I'll try and edit that out, hopefully. Then we got here Kiko or Kicho. So that's her. I was going to assemble these and show you guys, but they're pretty much self-assembled or fully assembled anyway, bar the exception of, I think, 3 of them. One has a backpack. You've got Maha with this bit to go on the front. Raikeen does need the most assembly. He comes in 3 parts. And Hinadori comes in 2 parts, as you can see here. So some fashion, look at that, it just flicks off nice and easy. So yeah, there'll be cleanup is going to be super easy on these. Might even be able to do it with a soft bristle toothbrush. Just gently brush over the top and the hairs will flick off any of that flashing. And again, no mold lines, which is brilliant. It means no harsh cleanup to be done. So obviously she's in 2 parts with this cool magical energy swirling around her. But yeah, that's Hinadori. So yeah, that's the the miniatures, guys, which does also bring us to the end of the video. Again, go and check them out. This is Bushido by GCT Studios. I will put a link to the website down in the description. So if you're interested in this, go check them out. I believe they have a store. If not, they do have links to stores on their website. And then they've got a lot more of the rules, the lore, videos, everything on there, as well as obviously all the videos, as well as all the miniatures that they have available. And they do have a Facebook, which I will also put down in the comments. So yeah, go and check them out. If you're into skirmish games, this looks like it will be a good one. And if you're from the UK, they are a British company or an English company. I believe they are an English company. So yeah, definitely a company to watch. And yeah, that's Bushido, guys. So thanks a lot for joining me. I won't keep you any longer. If you've enjoyed the video, remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to be notified of when videos go live, because I will be painting these miniatures once a week, maybe 2 a month, depending on how much content I can get done, because I have got a huge plan for content this year. We've got Hero Quest on how to paint that. I've got some news coming up about that. We've got Warhammer Quest. I'm doing some painting videos for that. We've got the usual Warhammer and Warhammer 40k videos, with Hatchet's new magazine coming out later in the year, Combat Patrols. So we've got, you know, a full 1.5 years worth of videos for that. We've got Bushido. I'm going to be doing more for. Corvus Belli are being brilliant with me, supporting the channel and sending out some minis every now and then. And they've got their new game, Warcrow, coming out, so there's that as well. Yeah, so much content planned for this year. It is going to be busy, and hopefully you guys will support the channel by hitting subscribe and getting this channel to grow. But yeah, I've ranted on for long enough, so thanks a lot, guys, and as always, take it easy and keep painting those minis.